Imagine waking up one morning to find that everything you've worked for has been taken away. Your job, your savings, even your sense of security, gone. For many, this might feel like the end, but for one man, it became the beginning of something extraordinary. This man, a Stoic philosopher named Epictetus, was born into slavery, stripped of freedom and dignity from the start. Yet he didn't let his circumstances define him. Instead, he turned his suffering into wisdom, teaching us that resilience isn't about what happens to us, but how we choose to respond. His story is just one example of how Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, offers timeless tools for navigating life's toughest challenges. Today, more than ever, we face uncertainty, stress, and setbacks that test our limits. Whether it's a global crisis, a personal loss, or the daily grind of modern life, resilience is the key to not just surviving but thriving, and that's where Stoicism comes in. This philosophy, practiced by emperors, slaves, and thinkers alike, teaches us how to build inner strength, stay grounded in chaos, and find meaning in adversity. In this video, we'll explore 25 powerful Stoic quotes on resilience. Each one is a reminder that no matter what life throws at us, we have the power to rise above it. These quotes aren't just words, they're practical tools you can use to face challenges with courage, clarity, and calm. By the end of this video, you'll walk away with a deeper understanding of how Stoic wisdom can transform the way you handle adversity, helping you build a life of resilience and purpose. So, let's dive in and discover how these ancient teachings can help you navigate the storms of modern life. Now, let's turn to the first Stoic quote on resilience, one that has echoed through the centuries as a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. It comes from Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic thinker, who wrote in his personal journal, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." These words, penned nearly 2,000 years ago, were part of his reflections during times of war, political turmoil, and personal loss. Despite ruling an empire, Marcus Aurelius faced immense challenges, yet he found solace in the idea that true power lies within our own thoughts and responses. At its core, this quote reminds us that while we can't always control what happens to us, we can control how we interpret and react to those events. Imagine you're stuck in traffic, late for an important meeting. The traffic is beyond your control, but your frustration and stress are not. By shifting your focus to what you can control, your mindset, your breathing, or even how you use the time, you regain a sense of agency. This principle applies to bigger challenges too, like losing a job or facing a health crisis. While the situation itself may be overwhelming, your ability to choose how you respond to it remains firmly in your hands. Marcus Aurelius's wisdom is especially relevant in today's fast-paced, unpredictable world. Think about how often we feel powerless in the face of global events, workplace pressures, or personal setbacks. This quote invites us to reclaim our inner strength by focusing on our thoughts and actions, rather than being consumed by external circumstances. It's a call to cultivate mental resilience, to build a fortress of calm within ourselves, no matter what storms rage outside. So, the next time life throws you a curveball, remember Marcus Aurelius's words. Take a moment to pause, reflect, and ask yourself, what can I control here? By doing so, you'll not only find strength but also a sense of peace that comes from knowing you're steering your own ship, even in rough waters. Moving forward, let's explore the second Stoic quote on resilience, which offers a powerful perspective on mental toughness. This time, we turn to Epictetus, the former slave-turned-Stoic philosopher who famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." At first glance, this might seem like a simple statement, but its depth lies in its ability to shift our focus from external events to our internal responses. Epictetus, who endured a life of hardship and adversity, understood that true strength isn't about avoiding challenges but about how we choose to face them. This quote underscores a central tenet of Stoic philosophy, the distinction between what we can and cannot control. While we often fixate on the events themselves, whether it's a missed opportunity, a personal failure, or an unexpected setback, Epictetus reminds us that our power lies in our reaction. Think about it this way: two people might experience the same setback, like losing a job. One might spiral into despair, while the other sees it as a chance to pivot and grow. The difference isn't the event itself, but the mindset each person brings to it. So, how can we internalize this wisdom and apply it to our own lives? Start by practicing self-awareness. When faced with a challenge, take a moment to pause and observe your initial reaction. Are you feeling anger, fear, or frustration? Acknowledge those emotions without judgment, but then ask yourself, how can I respond in a way that aligns with my values and goals? This simple act of reflection can help you move from a reactive state to a proactive one. Another practical step is to reframe setbacks as opportunities. Instead of viewing a difficult situation as a roadblock, try to see it as a chance to build resilience. For example, if you're dealing with a conflict at work, rather than dwelling on the negativity, consider what you can learn from the experience. How can it help you improve your communication skills or strengthen your emotional intelligence? By shifting your perspective, you transform obstacles into stepping stones. Epictetus's words are a call to cultivate mental toughness, not by avoiding pain, but by embracing it as a teacher. In a world where uncertainty is inevitable, this mindset can be a source of immense strength. It reminds us that while we can't always control the waves, we can learn to navigate them with courage and grace. So the next time life throws you a challenge, remember, it's not about what happens to you, it's about how you choose to rise above it. Now, let's turn our attention to the third Stoic quote on resilience, which shines a light on emotional resilience and the power of perspective. This time, we draw wisdom from Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, who wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this and you will find strength. At its core, this quote emphasizes the importance of detaching from external outcomes and focusing instead on what we can control: our thoughts, emotions, and actions. Marcus Aurelius, despite ruling an empire, faced immense personal and political challenges, yet his writings reveal a profound understanding of emotional resilience. He recognized that much of our suffering stems from our attachment to things beyond our control, whether it's the opinions of others, the outcome of a project, or even the weather. By shifting our focus inward, we can cultivate a sense of calm and strength, no matter what's happening around us. So, how does this apply to our lives today? Imagine you're preparing for a big presentation at work. You've done everything in your power to prepare. You've practiced, researched, and rehearsed. But on the day of the presentation, technical issues arise or the audience seems disengaged. In that moment, it's easy to feel frustrated or defeated. But Marcus Aurelius's wisdom reminds us that while we can't control the technology or the audience's reaction, we can control how we respond. We can choose to stay composed, adapt to the situation, and focus on delivering our best effort. This principle also applies to personal relationships. Let's say you're in a disagreement with a friend or family member. You can't control their words or actions, but you can control how you react. Instead of escalating the conflict, you might choose to listen calmly, express your feelings respectfully, and seek common ground. By focusing on your own behavior, you not only maintain your emotional resilience but also create space for resolution and understanding. Stoicism teaches us that emotional resilience isn't about suppressing our feelings or pretending everything is fine. It's about acknowledging our emotions without letting them dictate our actions. When we detach from external outcomes, we free ourselves from the roller coaster of highs and lows that come with trying to control the uncontrollable. Instead, we can channel our energy into what truly matters: our mindset, our values, and our ability to respond with integrity. To put this into practice, try this simple exercise. The next time you face a challenging situation, pause and ask yourself, what's within my control here? Write down your thoughts, focusing on your actions and attitudes rather than external factors. This small act of reflection can help you regain clarity and strengthen your emotional resilience. Marcus Aurelius's words remind us that true strength comes from within. By mastering our minds and focusing on what we can control, we not only navigate life's challenges with greater ease, but also find a deeper sense of peace and purpose. So, the next time you feel overwhelmed by external events, remember, your power lies in your perspective. Now, let's explore the fourth Stoic quote on resilience, which centers on the idea of enduring hardships with grace. This time, we turn to Epictetus, the former slave-turned-Stoic philosopher who famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This powerful statement underscores the Stoic belief that our true strength lies not in avoiding challenges, but in how we choose to face them. Epictetus's life itself is a testament to this principle. Born into slavery, he faced unimaginable hardships, yet he transformed his suffering into wisdom. His teachings remind us that while we cannot always control our circumstances, we can always control our response. This mindset is what separates those who crumble under pressure from those who rise above it with dignity and resilience. To bring this idea to life, consider the story of Nelson Mandela. Imprisoned for 27 years for his fight against apartheid, Mandela endured immense suffering. Yet, instead of allowing bitterness to consume him, he chose to respond with grace and forgiveness. Upon his release, he worked tirelessly to unite a divided nation, embodying the Stoic principle of enduring hardship with dignity. Mandela's ability to transform his pain into purpose serves as a modern-day example of Stoic resilience in action. Closer to home, think about someone you know, or perhaps even yourself, who has faced a significant setback, whether it's losing a job, dealing with a health crisis, or navigating a personal loss. In those moments, it's easy to feel overwhelmed or defeated, but Stoicism teaches us that hardship, while painful, can also be a teacher. By responding with grace, by choosing patience, perseverance, and a focus on what we can control, we not only endure but grow stronger in the process. This principle is especially relevant in today's fast-paced, unpredictable world. Whether it's a global crisis, a personal failure, or simply the daily stresses of life, we all face challenges that test our resilience. The Stoic approach doesn't promise an easy path, but it does offer a way to navigate difficulties with strength and composure. It's about recognizing that hardship is an inevitable part of life and choosing to meet it with courage rather than fear. To apply this wisdom, try reflecting on a recent challenge you faced. Ask yourself, how did I respond? Did I react with grace, or did I let frustration take over? By examining your reactions, you can begin to cultivate a more Stoic mindset, one that embraces hardship as an opportunity for growth rather than a source of despair. Epictetus's words remind us that resilience isn't about avoiding pain, but about transforming it into something meaningful. By enduring hardships with grace, we not only strengthen our own character, but also inspire those around us to do the same. So, the next time life throws a curveball your way, remember, it's not the challenge itself, but your response that defines your resilience. Now, let's shift our focus to the fifth Stoic quote on resilience, which invites us to see obstacles not as barriers but as opportunities for growth. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, once wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." At first glance, this might seem counterintuitive. How can something that blocks our path actually help us move forward? But this is the essence of Stoic wisdom. Challenges are not just hurdles to overcome. They are the very tools that shape us into stronger, wiser individuals. Marcus Aurelius, who ruled the Roman Empire during one of its most turbulent periods, faced countless obstacles, political unrest, wars, and personal losses. Yet he viewed each challenge as a chance to practice virtue and strengthen his character. His words remind us that every difficulty we encounter is an invitation to grow, to adapt, and to become more resilient. Instead of resisting obstacles, we can learn to embrace them as part of our journey. To apply this mindset in your own life, start by reframing how you see challenges. When you encounter a setback, pause and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this situation help me grow? For example, if you're struggling at work, instead of feeling defeated, consider it an opportunity to develop new skills or improve your problem-solving abilities. If you're facing a personal conflict, view it as a chance to practice patience, empathy, or communication. Another practical step is to break down the obstacle into smaller, manageable parts. Often, what feels overwhelming at first becomes more approachable when we tackle it piece by piece. Marcus Aurelius himself practiced this approach, focusing on what he could control in the moment rather than being paralyzed by the enormity of his challenges. By taking small, deliberate actions, you can turn even the most daunting obstacles into stepping stones toward progress. It's also helpful to cultivate gratitude for the lessons obstacles bring. While it's natural to feel frustrated or discouraged, try to shift your perspective by acknowledging the growth that comes from adversity. For instance, think about a time when you faced a difficult situation and emerged stronger or wiser. Reflecting on these experiences can help you see obstacles as valuable teachers rather than mere inconveniences. Finally, remember that resilience is a skill that grows with practice. Each time you face a challenge with a growth mindset, you're building your capacity to handle future difficulties with greater ease and confidence. Marcus Aurelius's words remind us that the path to resilience isn't about avoiding obstacles, but about learning to walk through them with purpose and determination. So, the next time you encounter a roadblock, don't see it as a dead end. Instead, ask yourself, how can this obstacle become my way forward? By adopting this Stoic perspective, you'll not only navigate life's challenges more effectively, but also discover the strength and wisdom that lie within you. Now, let's turn our attention to the sixth Stoic quote, which offers a profound reminder about the fleeting nature of life's challenges. Epictetus, the former slave-turned-Stoic philosopher, once said, "Remember that very little is needed to make a happy life." At its core, this quote speaks to the impermanence of our struggles and the importance of focusing on what truly matters. It's a powerful reminder that the difficulties we face today will not last forever, and this perspective can be a source of immense strength during tough times. Epictetus, who endured slavery and exile, understood firsthand how temporary hardships can be. His teachings emphasize that much of what we worry about, whether it's a difficult situation at work, a strained relationship, or a personal setback, is often fleeting. By recognizing the impermanence of these challenges, we can avoid becoming overwhelmed by them. Instead of dwelling on what's going wrong, we can focus on the things within our control and find peace in the knowledge that this too shall pass. To apply this wisdom in your own life, start by practicing mindfulness. When you're faced with a challenge, take a moment to step back and observe it without judgment. Ask yourself, will this matter in a week, a month, or a year? Often, you'll find that the intensity of the situation diminishes when you view it through the lens of time. This doesn't mean ignoring your problems, but rather approaching them with a sense of perspective and calm. Another practical step is to focus on gratitude. Even in the midst of difficulty, there are always things to be thankful for, whether it's the support of loved ones, your health, or the simple joys of everyday life. By shifting your attention to what's going well, you can counteract the weight of temporary struggles and maintain a resilient mindset. Epictetus reminds us that happiness doesn't come from external circumstances, but from our ability to appreciate what we already have. It's also helpful to remind yourself of past challenges you've overcome. Think about a time when you faced a seemingly insurmountable obstacle and emerged stronger on the other side. Reflecting on these experiences can reinforce the idea that current difficulties are just another chapter in your story, not the final word. This perspective can help you stay grounded and hopeful even when the road ahead feels uncertain. Finally, embrace the idea of impermanence as a source of freedom. When you accept that challenges are temporary, you free yourself from the fear of being stuck in a difficult situation forever. This mindset allows you to approach life with greater flexibility and adaptability, knowing that change is inevitable and that better days are always on the horizon. So, the next time you find yourself facing a tough situation, remember Epictetus's words: by focusing on what truly matters and recognizing the impermanence of your struggles, you can maintain resilience and find peace even in the midst of adversity. This Stoic perspective not only helps you navigate life's ups and downs, but also empowers you to live with greater clarity and purpose. Moving forward, let's explore the seventh Stoic quote, which shines a light on the vital role of self-discipline in building resilience. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This powerful statement reminds us that while we can't control everything that happens to us, we can control how we respond. And at the heart of that control lies self-discipline. Self-discipline, in the Stoic sense, isn't about rigid rules or harsh self-punishment. It's about cultivating the ability to align your actions with your values even when it's difficult. Marcus Aurelius believed that true strength comes from mastering your thoughts and emotions rather than being ruled by them. This kind of discipline allows you to face challenges with clarity and purpose rather than being swept away by fear or frustration. One practical way to build self-discipline is through the Stoic practice of journaling. Writing down your thoughts and reflections each day helps you process your emotions and gain perspective on your experiences. It's a way to step back and observe your mind, identifying patterns of thought that might be holding you back. For example, if you find yourself constantly worrying about things outside your control, journaling can help you refocus on what you can influence. Over time, this practice strengthens your ability to stay grounded and resilient, even in the face of uncertainty. Another powerful tool is meditation, which aligns closely with Stoic principles. Meditation doesn't have to be complicated. It can be as simple as taking a few minutes each day to sit quietly and focus on your breath. This practice trains your mind to stay present and calm, even when external circumstances are chaotic. By regularly practicing mindfulness, you develop the mental discipline to pause before reacting, giving yourself the space to choose a thoughtful response instead of an impulsive one. To make these practices a consistent part of your life, start small. Set aside just 5 minutes a day for journaling or meditation, and gradually increase the time as it becomes a habit. The key is consistency, not perfection. Even on days when you feel unmotivated, showing up for yourself in this small way reinforces your commitment to self-discipline and resilience. It's also helpful to set clear intentions for your day. Each morning, take a moment to reflect on what you want to focus on and how you want to show up in the world. This simple act of intention setting can guide your actions and keep you aligned with your values even when distractions arise. And at the end of the day, reflect on how you did. Celebrate your successes, no matter how small, and learn from any moments where you fell short. This cycle of reflection and growth is at the heart of Stoic self-discipline. Finally, remember that self-discipline is a skill that grows stronger with practice. There will be days when it feels harder than others, and that's okay. What matters is that you keep showing up even when it's tough. Over time, you'll find that the ability to stay disciplined in the face of challenges becomes a source of inner strength and resilience. So, as Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the power to shape your mind and responses lies within you. By cultivating self-discipline through practices like journaling and meditation, you can build the resilience needed to navigate life's ups and downs with grace and purpose. This Stoic approach not only helps you face adversity, but also empowers you to live a life aligned with your deepest values. Now, let's turn our attention to the 8th Stoic quote, which challenges us to embrace discomfort as a path to strength. Epictetus, the former slave-turned-philosopher, once said, "Difficulties are things that show what men are." This profound statement invites us to see hardship not as something to avoid, but as an opportunity to reveal and refine our character. Epictetus believed that discomfort and adversity are not obstacles to our growth. They are the very tools that shape us into stronger, more resilient individuals. When we face challenges head-on, we discover our capacity for endurance, courage, and resourcefulness. It's in these moments of struggle that we truly learn who we are and what we're capable of. One historical figure who embodied this principle was Thomas Edison. Despite facing countless failures in his quest to invent the electric light bulb, Edison famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." His relentless perseverance in the face of repeated setbacks is a testament to the Stoic idea that discomfort and failure are not the end, but rather stepping stones to success. Edison's ability to embrace the discomfort of failure and keep moving forward ultimately led to one of the most transformative inventions in history. Another example is Harriet Tubman, who endured unimaginable hardships as she led enslaved people to freedom through the Underground Railroad. Tubman faced constant danger, exhaustion, and the ever-present threat of capture, yet she never wavered in her mission. Her willingness to endure discomfort and risk her life for the sake of others exemplifies the Stoic principle of finding strength through adversity. Tubman's story reminds us that discomfort, when faced with purpose, can become a source of incredible power and resilience. So, how can we apply this Stoic wisdom in our own lives? Start by reframing how you view discomfort. Instead of seeing it as something to avoid, try to see it as an opportunity to grow. Whether it's taking on a challenging project at work, pushing yourself in a workout, or having a difficult conversation, lean into the discomfort rather than shying away from it. Each time you do, you'll build mental and emotional muscle, making you better equipped to handle future challenges. It's also helpful to set small, intentional challenges for yourself. For example, if you're someone who avoids public speaking, commit to speaking up in a meeting or presenting an idea to a small group. The discomfort you feel in that moment is a sign that you're stretching beyond your comfort zone, and that's where growth happens. Over time, these small acts of courage will add up, helping you develop the resilience to tackle bigger challenges with confidence. Remember, embracing discomfort doesn't mean seeking out unnecessary suffering. It's about recognizing that the struggles we encounter in life are often the very things that help us grow stronger and more capable. As Epictetus reminds us, it's through difficulties that we discover our true strength. So, the next time you face a challenge, try to see it not as a burden, but as an opportunity to reveal the best version of yourself. This Stoic approach to discomfort teaches us that resilience isn't about avoiding hardship, it's about meeting it with courage and determination. By embracing discomfort as a path to strength, we can transform our struggles into stepping stones for growth, just as historical figures like Edison and Tubman did. And in doing so, we not only build resilience but also uncover the depth of our own potential. Now, let's explore the 9th Stoic quote, which shines a light on the transformative power of perspective. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This simple yet profound statement reminds us that while we can't always control what happens to us, we can always control how we respond. At its core, this quote is about reframing, shifting the way we see challenges so that they become opportunities for growth rather than sources of stress. Marcus Aurelius believed that our perspective is the lens through which we interpret the world, and by adjusting that lens, we can change our entire experience. For example, imagine you're stuck in traffic. You could see it as a frustrating waste of time, or you could use it as an opportunity to listen to a podcast, reflect on your day, or simply enjoy a moment of stillness. The situation hasn't changed, but your perspective has, and with it your emotional state. This principle is especially powerful when applied to larger challenges. Let's say you're facing a difficult project at work. Instead of viewing it as an overwhelming burden, try to see it as a chance to learn new skills, prove your capabilities, or even build stronger relationships with your team. By reframing the challenge in this way, you not only reduce stress but also open yourself up to new possibilities. This shift in perspective can help you approach the situation with curiosity and determination rather than fear or frustration. Another way to apply this Stoic wisdom is through gratitude. When life feels overwhelming, take a moment to focus on what's going well. Maybe you're grateful for your health, your loved ones, or even the small joys of a good cup of coffee. Gratitude helps us reframe our challenges by reminding us of the good things we often take for granted. It's not about ignoring the difficulties, it's about balancing them with a sense of appreciation for what we have. This balance can help us maintain inner peace even in the face of adversity. Marcus Aurelius also emphasized the importance of focusing on what we can control. When we fixate on things outside our influence, like other people's opinions or unexpected setbacks, we give away our power. But when we redirect our energy toward what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and attitudes, we reclaim that power. This shift in focus not only builds resilience but also helps us stay grounded and centered, no matter what life throws our way. So, how can you start reframing challenges in your own life? Begin by practicing mindfulness. When you notice yourself feeling stressed or overwhelmed, pause and ask yourself, what's within my control here? How can I shift my perspective to see this situation differently? Over time, this practice will help you develop a more resilient mindset, one that allows you to face challenges with clarity and calm. Remember, the power of perspective lies in its ability to transform how we experience life. By reframing challenges as opportunities, focusing on what we can control, and cultivating gratitude, we can build resilience and maintain inner peace even in the most difficult times. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, true strength comes from mastering our minds, and with that mastery, we can navigate any storm with grace and confidence. This Stoic approach to perspective teaches us that resilience isn't just about enduring hardship, it's about seeing it in a way that empowers us. By embracing this mindset, we can turn life's challenges into stepping stones for growth and discover a deeper sense of peace along the way. Now, let's turn our attention to the 10th Stoic quote, which offers a powerful reminder about the importance of acceptance. Epictetus, one of the most influential Stoic philosophers, once said, "Some things are within our power while others are not." This simple yet profound statement invites us to focus our energy on what we can control and let go of what we cannot. At its heart, this quote is about recognizing the limits of our influence and finding peace in that understanding. Think about how often we stress over things that are entirely outside our control: the weather, traffic, or even other people's opinions. When we try to change these things, we often end up frustrated and exhausted. But when we accept them as they are, we free ourselves from unnecessary struggle. For example, imagine you're planning an outdoor event and the forecast predicts rain. You could spend days worrying about it, or you could accept that the weather is beyond your control and focus on what you can do, like preparing a backup plan or embracing the rain as part of the experience. This shift in mindset not only reduces stress but also allows you to approach the situation with creativity and flexibility. This principle is especially relevant in relationships. We can't control how others think, feel, or behave, but we can control how we respond. Let's say a friend cancels plans at the last minute. Instead of feeling hurt or resentful, you could choose to accept their decision and use the time to do something meaningful for yourself. By letting go of the need to control the situation, you protect your peace of mind and maintain a sense of balance. Another area where this Stoic wisdom shines is in dealing with setbacks. Life is full of unexpected challenges, job losses, health issues, or even global crises. While these events can feel overwhelming, accepting them as part of life's natural ebb and flow can help us respond with resilience. For instance, if you lose your job, you could spend energy lamenting the situation, or you could accept it as a reality and focus on the steps you can take to move forward, like updating your resume or exploring new opportunities. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up, it means redirecting your energy toward what you can influence. Epictetus also reminds us that acceptance is a form of empowerment. When we stop fighting against what we can't change, we reclaim our mental and emotional energy. This energy can then be channeled into actions that align with our values and goals. For example, if you're dealing with a chronic illness, accepting your condition doesn't mean resigning yourself to suffering. It means focusing on the aspects of your health that you can improve, like your diet, exercise, or mindset, while letting go of the frustration over what you can't control. So, how can you practice this principle in your own life? Start by identifying areas where you're resisting reality. Ask yourself, is this within my control? If the answer is no, take a deep breath and remind yourself that acceptance is the first step toward peace. Over time, this practice will help you build resilience by teaching you to focus on what truly matters and let go of the rest. By embracing the wisdom of Epictetus, we learn that acceptance isn't about passivity, it's about clarity. It's about recognizing the boundaries of our power and choosing to invest our energy wisely. When we accept what we cannot change, we reduce stress, foster resilience, and create space for growth and peace in our lives. This Stoic principle reminds us that true strength lies not in controlling everything but in knowing where to direct our efforts and where to let go. Now let's explore the 11th Stoic quote, which shines a light on the virtues of patience and persistence. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, once wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This powerful statement reminds us that obstacles aren't just barriers, they're opportunities to grow stronger and more resilient. At its core, this quote is a call to embrace challenges as part of the journey, rather than seeing them as roadblocks. Think about the long-term challenges we all face, whether it's building a career, improving a skill, or navigating a difficult relationship. These aren't things that can be solved overnight. They require time, effort, and most importantly, patience. Marcus Aurelius teaches us that persistence isn't just about pushing through, it's about finding meaning in the struggle itself. For example, if you're working toward a promotion at work, the process might feel slow and frustrating. But each setback, each moment of doubt, is a chance to refine your skills and deepen your understanding of what it takes to succeed. By viewing these challenges as part of the path rather than distractions from it, you cultivate a mindset of resilience. So, how can you apply this wisdom in your own life? Start by reframing how you see obstacles. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" try asking, "What can I learn from this?" This shift in perspective turns frustration into curiosity and opens the door to growth. Let's say you're training for a marathon and you hit a plateau in your progress. Instead of giving up, you could see this as an opportunity to experiment with new training methods or focus on improving your mental endurance. The obstacle itself becomes a teacher, guiding you toward greater strength and adaptability. Another key aspect of this quote is the idea of persistence. Long-term challenges often test our resolve, and it's easy to feel discouraged when progress seems slow. But Marcus Aurelius reminds us that persistence isn't just about brute force, it's about consistency and commitment. Small, steady actions repeated over time can lead to profound results. For instance, if you're learning a new language, dedicating just 15 minutes a day to practice might not feel like much in the moment, but over months or years, those small efforts add up to fluency. The key is to stay focused on the process rather than fixating on the end result. To stay resilient during long-term challenges, it's also important to celebrate small victories along the way. Acknowledge the progress you've made, no matter how minor it seems. Did you stick to your workout routine for a full week? That's a win. Did you handle a difficult conversation with grace? Another win. These moments of recognition keep you motivated and remind you that persistence pays off, even when the finish line feels far away. Finally, remember that patience and persistence are deeply connected to self-compassion. It's okay to feel tired or frustrated. Sometimes what matters is that you keep going. When you encounter setbacks, treat yourself with kindness and remind yourself that growth is a journey, not a sprint. By embracing the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, you learn to see challenges not as enemies, but as allies in your pursuit of resilience and strength. This Stoic principle teaches us that the path to resilience isn't about avoiding obstacles. It's about walking through them with patience, persistence, and a willingness to grow. When we adopt this mindset, we transform our struggles into stepping stones, building a foundation of resilience that can carry us through even the longest and most difficult challenges. Now let's turn our attention to the 12th Stoic quote, which invites us to focus on the present moment. Epictetus, one of the most influential Stoic philosophers, once said, "We should always be asking ourselves, is this something that is or is not in my control?" This simple yet profound question reminds us that much of our stress and anxiety comes from worrying about things outside our control. By bringing our attention back to the present, we can cultivate a sense of calm and clarity, even in the face of uncertainty. Mindfulness, a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, is about being fully present in the here and now. It's about observing our thoughts and emotions without judgment and recognizing that we have the power to choose how we respond to them. When we practice mindfulness, we create a mental space between what happens to us and how we react. This space allows us to respond thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. For example, imagine you're stuck in traffic and running late for an important meeting. Instead of letting frustration take over, you could take a deep breath and remind yourself that the traffic is beyond your control. By focusing on what you can do, like staying calm and planning your next steps, you turn a stressful situation into an opportunity to practice resilience. The connection between mindfulness and resilience is powerful. When we're fully present, we're better equipped to handle challenges as they arise. We're less likely to be overwhelmed by regrets about the past or fears about the future. Instead, we can direct our energy toward what's happening right now and take meaningful action. Think about a time when you faced a difficult decision. If you were caught up in worrying about potential outcomes, you might have felt paralyzed. But by focusing on the present, you could break the decision down into smaller, manageable steps, making it easier to move forward. So, how can you incorporate mindfulness into your daily life to build resilience? Start with small, intentional practices. For instance, take a few moments each day to sit quietly and focus on your breath. Notice the sensations of inhaling and exhaling, and gently bring your attention back whenever your mind starts to wander. This simple exercise can help you develop the habit of staying present, even in the midst of chaos. Another practical tip is to pause before reacting to stressful situations. Ask yourself Epictetus's question, "Is this within my control? If it's not, let it go." If it is, take deliberate action. Mindfulness also helps us appreciate the small joys in life, which can be a source of strength during tough times. When we're fully present, we notice the beauty of a sunset, the warmth of a loved one's smile, or the satisfaction of completing a task. These moments of gratitude and connection remind us that life is more than just the challenges we face. They recharge our emotional batteries and give us the energy to keep going. By focusing on the present moment, we also become more aware of our own thoughts and patterns. This self-awareness is key to building resilience because it allows us to identify unhelpful habits and replace them with healthier ones. For example, if you notice that you tend to catastrophize when things go wrong, you can practice reframing those thoughts. Instead of imagining the worst-case scenario, remind yourself of past challenges you've overcome and the strength you've developed along the way. In essence, mindfulness teaches us to meet life's challenges with a clear mind and an open heart. It's not about ignoring difficulties or pretending everything is fine. It's about facing reality as it is with courage and compassion. When we embrace the present moment, we tap into a deep well of resilience that helps us navigate even the toughest situations. As Epictetus reminds us, the power to choose our response lies within us, and that power grows stronger when we focus on what's happening right now. Now, let's explore the 13th Stoic quote, which centers on the inevitability of change. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, once wrote, "The universe is change, our life is what our thoughts make it." This powerful statement reminds us that change is not only a constant in life but also an essential part of growth. Everything around us, our circumstances, relationships, and even our own selves, is in a state of flux. The Stoics believed that resisting this natural flow only leads to suffering, while embracing it allows us to adapt and thrive even in the most uncertain times. Think about how often we cling to the familiar, fearing the unknown. We might stay in a job that no longer fulfills us, hold onto relationships that have run their course, or resist new opportunities because they feel uncomfortable. But Marcus Aurelius's words challenge us to shift our perspective. Instead of seeing change as a threat, we can view it as an opportunity to evolve. For example, losing a job might feel devastating at first, but it could also open the door to a career that aligns more closely with your passions and values. By embracing change, we allow ourselves to grow in ways we might never have imagined. The Stoics also teach us that change is not something to be feared, but something to be expected. Just as the seasons shift and the tides turn, our lives are constantly moving through cycles of growth, loss, and renewal. When we accept this truth, we become more resilient in the face of life's ups and downs. Imagine you're going through a difficult breakup. Instead of dwelling on what's been lost, you could focus on the lessons learned and the new possibilities ahead. This mindset doesn't erase the pain, but it helps you move forward with hope and purpose. So, how can we practice embracing change in our daily lives? Start by cultivating a mindset of curiosity and openness. When faced with a new situation, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Or how can I grow through this experience? These questions shift your focus from fear to opportunity. Another practical step is to build flexibility into your routines. For instance, if your plans get disrupted, instead of feeling frustrated, try to see it as a chance to explore something new. Maybe that cancelled meeting gives you time to read a book you've been meaning to dive into or take a walk in nature. Embracing change also means letting go of the need for control. The Stoics remind us that while we can't control external events, we can control how we respond to them. This doesn't mean we should be passive. Rather, it's about focusing our energy on what we can influence. For example, if a global event disrupts your industry, you might not be able to change the situation, but you can adapt by learning new skills or exploring alternative career paths. This proactive approach turns uncertainty into a catalyst for growth. Finally, embracing change helps us appreciate the beauty of impermanence. When we recognize that nothing lasts forever, we learn to cherish the present moment. A sunset is more breathtaking because it's fleeting, and a loved one's laughter is more precious because it's unique to that moment. This awareness deepens our gratitude and enriches our lives, even as we navigate the inevitable shifts that come our way. In essence, Marcus Aurelius's quote invites us to see change not as an enemy but as a teacher. By embracing it, we unlock our ability to adapt, grow, and thrive, no matter what life throws at us. As we move forward, let's carry this wisdom with us, ready to face the ever-changing landscape of life with courage and resilience. Now, let's turn our attention to the 14th Stoic quote, which shines a light on the power of inner strength over external circumstances. Epictetus, one of the most influential Stoic philosophers, once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This simple yet profound statement reminds us that while we can't always control the events around us, we have complete control over our responses. Inner strength, according to the Stoics, is the ability to remain steadfast and composed, no matter what life throws our way. Think about a time when you faced a situation that felt completely out of your hands. Maybe it was a sudden job loss, a health scare, or a personal conflict. In moments like these, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the circumstances, but Epictetus's wisdom invites us to shift our focus inward. Instead of being consumed by what's happening around us, we can choose to cultivate resilience by focusing on our mindset and actions. For example, if you're passed over for a promotion, you could either dwell on the disappointment or use it as motivation to improve your skills and seek new opportunities. The choice is yours. This principle is just as relevant in our professional lives as it is in our personal ones. Imagine you're leading a team project and unexpected challenges arise. Perhaps a key team member leaves or a client changes their requirements. While these external factors might feel like setbacks, your inner strength lies in how you respond. Do you panic and lose focus, or do you stay calm, reassess the situation, and guide your team toward a solution? By prioritizing your inner resilience, you not only navigate the challenge effectively, but also inspire those around you to do the same. The Stoics believed that true power comes from within. External circumstances, whether they're favorable or unfavorable, are fleeting and often beyond our control. But our inner world, our thoughts, values, and choices is where we hold the reins. This doesn't mean we should ignore or dismiss external challenges. Rather, it's about recognizing that our strength lies in how we engage with them. For instance, if you're dealing with a difficult relationship, you can't control the other person's actions, but you can control how you communicate, set boundaries, and maintain your own emotional well-being. So, how can we build this inner strength in our daily lives? One practical step is to practice self-awareness. Take time to reflect on your thoughts and emotions, especially during challenging moments. Ask yourself, what's within my control here, and how can I respond in a way that aligns with my values? This simple practice helps you stay grounded and focused, even when external circumstances feel chaotic. Another way to cultivate inner strength is through mindfulness or meditation. These practices train your mind to stay present and centered, reducing the impact of external stressors. It's also important to remember that inner strength isn't about being invincible or never feeling pain. It's about acknowledging your emotions while choosing not to be ruled by them. For example, if you're grieving a loss, it's natural to feel sadness, but inner strength allows you to process that grief without letting it consume you. Over time, this balance between acceptance and resilience helps you navigate life's challenges with grace and courage. In essence, Epictetus's quote is a call to focus on what truly matters, our inner world. By prioritizing our thoughts, choices, and values, we build a foundation of resilience that no external circumstance can shake. Whether you're facing a personal setback or a professional hurdle, remember that your strength lies not in what happens to you, but in how you choose to respond. As we move forward, let's carry this wisdom with us, ready to face life's uncertainties with unwavering inner strength. Now, let's explore the 15th Stoic quote, which offers a powerful perspective on the value of adversity. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, once wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." At first glance, this might seem counterintuitive. How can obstacles actually help us move forward? But when we dig deeper, we see that Marcus Aurelius is reminding us that challenges aren't just barriers, they're opportunities in disguise. Every difficulty we face has the potential to teach us something valuable if we're willing to look for the lesson. Think about a time when you faced a significant challenge. Maybe it was a project that didn't go as planned, a relationship that tested your patience, or a personal goal that felt out of reach. In those moments, it's easy to feel frustrated or defeated. But what if, instead of seeing the obstacle as a roadblock, you saw it as a stepping stone? For example, if you're struggling to learn a new skill, the frustration you feel might push you to find new strategies or seek help from others. In this way, the obstacle itself becomes the catalyst for growth. This idea isn't just theoretical, it's something we see in action all around us. Consider the story of Thomas Edison, who famously failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. When asked about his failures, he said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Edison's perspective embodies the Stoic principle that adversity is a teacher. Each failure brought him closer to success because he refused to let setbacks define him. Instead, he used them as opportunities to learn and improve. So, how can we apply this wisdom in our own lives? Start by reframing how you view challenges. When something goes wrong, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" try asking, "What can I learn from this?" This shift in mindset can transform obstacles into opportunities. For instance, if you're dealing with a difficult coworker, the situation might teach you patience, communication skills, or even how to set better boundaries. These are lessons that can serve you well in the future, both personally and professionally. Another way to embrace adversity is to focus on what you can control. While you can't always change the circumstances you're in, you can control how you respond to them. This is where the Stoic practice of focusing on your own actions and mindset comes into play. By taking responsibility for your reactions, you turn challenges into chances to build resilience and character. For example, if you're facing financial difficulties, you might not be able to change the economy, but you can take steps to budget more effectively, learn new skills, or explore alternative income streams. These actions not only help you navigate the challenge, but also prepare you for future obstacles. It's also important to remember that growth often comes from discomfort. Just as a muscle grows stronger through resistance, our character is shaped by the challenges we face. This doesn't mean we should seek out hardship, but when it inevitably comes, we can choose to see it as an opportunity rather than a setback. For instance, if you're struggling with a health issue, the process of managing it might lead you to adopt healthier habits, deepen your relationships, or develop a greater appreciation for life. These are all ways that adversity can enrich our lives, even if it doesn't feel that way in the moment. In essence, Marcus Aurelius's quote is a reminder that adversity isn't something to fear or avoid, it's something to embrace. Every challenge we face has the potential to teach us, shape us, and help us grow. By shifting our perspective and focusing on what we can control, we can turn obstacles into opportunities and emerge stronger on the other side. As we move forward, let's carry this mindset with us, ready to see the value in every challenge and the lessons in every setback. Now, let's turn our attention to the 16th Stoic quote, which offers timeless wisdom on staying calm under pressure. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This simple yet profound statement reminds us that while we can't always control external events, we have complete control over our responses. In moments of stress or chaos, this principle becomes a powerful tool for maintaining composure and clarity. Imagine you're in a high-pressure situation, maybe a tight deadline at work, a heated argument, or an unexpected crisis. Your heart races, your mind feels scattered, and it's easy to feel overwhelmed. But what if, in that moment, you could pause and remind yourself that your reaction is within your control? This shift in perspective can be transformative. Instead of being swept away by emotions, you can choose to respond with calmness and intention. One practical technique for staying composed is to practice deep breathing. When stress hits, our bodies often go into fight or flight mode, which can cloud our thinking. Taking slow, deliberate breaths can help activate the parasympathetic nervous system, signaling to your body that it's safe to relax. Try this: inhale deeply for a count of 4, hold for 4, and exhale for 4. Repeat this cycle a few times and you'll likely notice a sense of calm returning. Another effective strategy is to focus on the present moment. Stress often arises from worrying about the future or dwelling on the past. By grounding yourself in the here and now, you can reduce anxiety and regain control. One way to do this is through mindfulness. Take a moment to notice your surroundings, the sounds, the textures, the sensations. This simple act of awareness can help you detach from overwhelming thoughts and return to a state of balance. Stoicism also teaches us to prepare for challenges in advance. This doesn't mean obsessing over potential problems, but rather mentally rehearsing how you'll handle difficult situations. For example, if you know you have a tough conversation coming up, visualize yourself staying calm and composed. Imagine responding with patience and clarity, no matter how the other person reacts. This mental preparation can make a world of difference when the moment arrives. Another key Stoic practice is to reframe the situation. Instead of viewing stress as a threat, try to see it as an opportunity to practice resilience. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow? This mindset shift can turn a stressful moment into a chance to strengthen your character. For instance, if you're dealing with a demanding project, remind yourself that overcoming this challenge will build your skills and confidence for future tasks. It's also helpful to remind yourself of what's truly within your control. Epictetus often emphasized the importance of distinguishing between what we can and cannot change. When you focus your energy on what you can influence, your actions, your attitude, your effort, you free yourself from the frustration of trying to control the uncontrollable. This clarity can bring a sense of peace even in the midst of chaos. Finally, don't underestimate the power of perspective. When you're in the middle of a stressful situation, it can feel all-consuming. But stepping back and asking, will this matter in a week, a month, a year, can help you regain a sense of proportion. Often, what feels like a crisis in the moment is just a small bump in the grand scheme of things. In essence, Epictetus's quote is a call to master our reactions, even when the world feels out of control. By practicing techniques like deep breathing, mindfulness, mental preparation, and reframing, we can navigate stressful situations with grace and resilience. As we move forward, let's carry this wisdom with us, ready to face life's pressures with calmness and clarity. Next, we'll explore how Stoicism teaches us to cultivate self-awareness, another essential tool for building resilience. Now, let's shift our focus to the 17th Stoic quote, which highlights the profound importance of self-awareness in building resilience. Marcus Aurelius, one of Stoicism's most revered figures, once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this and you will find strength. At its core, this quote reminds us that true resilience begins with understanding ourselves, our thoughts, emotions, and reactions. Self-awareness is the foundation upon which we can build the mental fortitude to face life's challenges with clarity and purpose. To truly grasp the power of self-awareness, let's consider how it works in practice. Imagine you're feeling frustrated or overwhelmed. Without self-awareness, you might react impulsively, letting your emotions dictate your actions. But when you take a moment to pause and reflect, you can identify what's triggering those feelings. Are you frustrated because something didn't go as planned? Are you overwhelmed because you're trying to do too much at once? By understanding the root of your emotions, you gain the ability to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. One way to cultivate self-awareness is through regular reflection. Stoics often practiced journaling as a way to examine their thoughts and emotions. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to write about what went well, what challenged you, and how you responded. This simple habit can help you spot patterns in your behavior and identify areas where you can grow. For example, you might notice that you tend to feel anxious when you're unprepared or that you get defensive when receiving feedback. Recognizing these tendencies is the first step toward changing them. Another powerful tool for building self-awareness is mindfulness. By paying attention to your thoughts and feelings in the present moment, you can observe them without judgment. This practice allows you to detach from negative emotions and see them for what they truly are: temporary states that don't define you. For instance, if you're feeling angry, instead of letting that anger control you, you can acknowledge it, understand its source, and choose how to respond. This shift from reaction to response is at the heart of resilience. Self-awareness also helps us recognize our strengths and limitations. When we understand what we're capable of, we can set realistic goals and approach challenges with confidence. At the same time, acknowledging our limitations allows us to seek help when needed and avoid unnecessary stress. For example, if you know you struggle with time management, you can plan your schedule more carefully or delegate tasks to others. This kind of self-knowledge empowers us to navigate life's ups and downs with greater ease. Moreover, self-awareness fosters empathy and better relationships. When we understand our own emotions, we're better equipped to understand the emotions of others. This can lead to more meaningful connections and a stronger support network, both of which are crucial for resilience. For instance, if you're aware that you tend to withdraw when stressed, you can communicate this to your loved ones and let them know how they can support you. This openness not only strengthens your relationships but also helps you feel less alone during tough times. Finally, self-awareness allows us to align our actions with our values. When we're clear about what truly matters to us, we can make decisions that reflect those priorities, even in the face of adversity. For example, if you value honesty, you might choose to speak up in a difficult situation, even if it's uncomfortable. This alignment between values and actions creates a sense of integrity and purpose, which are key components of resilience. In essence, Marcus Aurelius's quote is a powerful reminder that self-awareness is the key to unlocking our inner strength. By understanding our emotions, reflecting on our experiences, and aligning our actions with our values, we can build the resilience needed to thrive in an unpredictable world. As we move forward, let's carry this wisdom with us, ready to face life's challenges with clarity, compassion, and courage. Next, we'll explore how Stoicism teaches us to embrace simplicity as a path to resilience. Now, let's turn our attention to the 18th Stoic quote, which shines a light on the transformative power of simplicity. Seneca, one of Stoicism's most eloquent voices, once wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." This profound statement invites us to reconsider what truly matters in life and how simplifying our lives can be a source of strength and resilience. At its heart, this quote reminds us that our desires and attachments often create unnecessary complexity and stress. When we constantly chase after more possessions, more achievements, more validation, we risk losing sight of what brings us genuine peace and fulfillment. Seneca's words encourage us to strip away the excess and focus on what is essential. By doing so, we can reduce the mental clutter that weighs us down and create space for clarity and calm. Think about how often we complicate our lives by overcommitting or accumulating things we don't truly need. For example, a cluttered schedule can leave us feeling drained and overwhelmed, while a cluttered home can make it harder to relax and recharge. Simplifying doesn't mean giving up everything we enjoy. It means being intentional about what we allow into our lives. It's about prioritizing what aligns with our values and letting go of what doesn't serve us. One practical way to embrace simplicity is through decluttering both physically and mentally. Start by identifying areas of your life that feel chaotic or overwhelming. Is it your workspace, your daily routine, or even your relationships? Take small steps to streamline these areas. For instance, you might clear out items you no longer use, set boundaries to protect your time, or let go of toxic relationships that drain your energy. Each act of simplification can bring a sense of relief and renewal. Another way to practice simplicity is by focusing on the present moment. Often, stress arises from worrying about the future or dwelling on the past. By grounding ourselves in the here and now, we can reduce anxiety and cultivate a sense of peace. Mindfulness practices such as deep breathing or meditation can help us stay present and appreciate the simple joys of life, like a quiet moment with a cup of tea or a walk in nature. Simplicity also allows us to build resilience by conserving our energy for what truly matters. When we're not constantly chasing after external validation or material possessions, we can direct our focus inward and strengthen our inner resources. For example, instead of striving for perfection in every area of life, we can embrace imperfection and focus on progress. This shift in mindset not only reduces stress, but also empowers us to face challenges with greater confidence and adaptability. Moreover, simplicity fosters gratitude. When we let go of the need for more, we can appreciate what we already have. This sense of contentment is a powerful antidote to stress and a key component of resilience. Take a moment to reflect on the things you're grateful for, your health, your relationships, or even the small comforts of daily life. Cultivating gratitude helps us stay grounded and resilient, even in the face of adversity. In essence, Seneca's quote is a call to embrace simplicity as a path to resilience. By letting go of excess and focusing on what truly matters, we can reduce stress, cultivate inner peace, and build the strength to navigate life's challenges with grace. As we move forward, let's carry this wisdom with us, ready to simplify our lives and find strength in the essentials. Next, we'll explore how Stoicism teaches us to focus on what truly matters, even in the midst of chaos. Now, let's shift our focus to the 19th Stoic quote, which offers a powerful reminder about the importance of aligning our lives with what truly matters. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This timeless wisdom invites us to reflect on where we place our energy and attention, urging us to prioritize our inner values over external achievements. At its core, this quote emphasizes the Stoic principle of focusing on what we can control: our thoughts, actions, and values, while letting go of what lies beyond our influence. In a world that often measures success by external markers like wealth, status, or recognition, Marcus Aurelius reminds us that true resilience comes from within. When we anchor ourselves in our values, integrity, kindness, courage, or compassion, we build a foundation that can withstand life's inevitable ups and downs. Consider how often we tie our self-worth to external outcomes. For example, we might feel defeated after a failed project or elated after receiving praise. While these experiences are natural, they can leave us emotionally vulnerable if we rely too heavily on them for validation. Marcus Aurelius encourages us to shift our focus inward, cultivating a sense of self-worth that isn't dependent on external circumstances. This inner stability is key to resilience, as it allows us to face challenges without being shaken by setbacks or swayed by fleeting successes. One practical way to prioritize values over external success is by clarifying what truly matters to us. Take a moment to reflect on your core principles. What qualities do you admire in others? What kind of person do you aspire to be? By identifying these values, you can align your actions with what brings you lasting fulfillment, rather than chasing after temporary rewards. For instance, instead of striving to impress others, you might focus on being honest and authentic in your interactions. This shift not only reduces stress but also strengthens your sense of purpose. Another way to embody this principle is by practicing detachment from outcomes. While it's natural to care about the results of our efforts, becoming overly attached can lead to frustration and disappointment. Marcus Aurelius teaches us to focus on the process, doing our best with integrity and diligence while accepting that the outcome is beyond our control. This mindset not only fosters resilience but also frees us from the anxiety of constantly seeking approval or validation. Prioritizing values over external success also helps us navigate failure with grace. When we define success by our adherence to our principles rather than by external achievements, setbacks become opportunities for growth rather than sources of shame. For example, if you value perseverance, a failed project becomes a chance to learn and improve rather than a reflection of your worth. This perspective empowers us to bounce back from adversity with greater confidence and determination. Moreover, focusing on what truly matters allows us to live with greater authenticity and alignment. When our actions are guided by our values, we experience a deeper sense of fulfillment and inner peace. This alignment not only strengthens our resilience but also enriches our relationships as we show up as our true selves rather than trying to meet others' expectations. In essence, Marcus Aurelius's quote is a call to cultivate inner strength by focusing on what we can control, our values and mindset. By prioritizing what truly matters, we build a resilient foundation that enables us to navigate life's challenges with clarity and purpose. As we move forward, let's carry this wisdom with us, ready to align our actions with our deepest values and find strength in what lies within. Next, we'll explore how Stoicism teaches us to find meaning in adversity through the interconnectedness of all things. Now, let's turn our attention to the 20th Stoic quote, which invites us to see the bigger picture in life. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, once said, "Everything is interconnected, and the beautiful harmony of the world depends on this connection." This profound statement reminds us that every event, every challenge, and every person we encounter is part of a larger web of existence. By understanding this interconnectedness, we can find deeper meaning in our struggles and see adversity not as an isolated burden, but as a thread woven into the fabric of life. At its heart, this quote encourages us to shift our perspective. Instead of viewing hardships as random or meaningless, Stoicism teaches us to see them as part of a greater whole. When we recognize that our experiences are connected to the experiences of others and to the natural order of the universe, we can approach adversity with a sense of purpose. This mindset helps us move beyond frustration or despair, allowing us to find meaning even in the most difficult moments. Consider how this principle applies to everyday life. For example, imagine facing a setback at work, a project that didn't go as planned. At first, it might feel like a personal failure, but when we step back and consider the interconnectedness of all things, we might see how this setback led to new opportunities, stronger teamwork, or even a chance to develop skills we hadn't considered before. By reframing the situation, we can find value in what initially seemed like a loss. This Stoic principle also helps us cultivate empathy and compassion. When we understand that our struggles are part of a shared human experience, we feel less alone in our challenges. We begin to see that others are facing their own battles, and this awareness can inspire us to offer support or kindness. In turn, this sense of connection strengthens our resilience as we draw strength not only from within, but also from the relationships and communities around us. Another way to apply this idea is by embracing the concept of impermanence. Stoicism teaches us that everything in life is transient, both the good and the bad. When we recognize that adversity is just one part of a constantly changing world, we can approach it with greater equanimity. This doesn't mean we ignore our struggles, but rather that we see them as temporary and interconnected with the broader flow of life. This perspective can help us endure hardships with patience and hope, knowing that change is inevitable. Moreover, understanding interconnectedness can inspire us to take responsibility for our actions. When we see how our choices ripple out and affect others, we become more mindful of how we live. This awareness encourages us to act with integrity, kindness, and purpose, knowing that our actions contribute to the harmony of the world around us. In this way, Stoicism not only helps us navigate adversity, but also empowers us to live in a way that aligns with our values and benefits others. In essence, Epictetus's quote is a call to see beyond the surface of our struggles and recognize the deeper connections that bind us all. By embracing this Stoic principle, we can find meaning in adversity, cultivate empathy, and live with a greater sense of purpose. As we move forward, let's carry this wisdom with us, ready to see the beauty in life's interconnectedness and draw strength from the harmony it creates. Next, we'll explore how practicing gratitude can further enhance our resilience and overall well-being. Now, let's shift our focus to the 21st Stoic quote, which shines a light on the transformative power of gratitude. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most revered Stoic philosophers, once wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." This simple yet profound statement reminds us that gratitude is not just a fleeting emotion, but a practice that can fundamentally change how we experience life. By cultivating gratitude, we train our minds to focus on what we have rather than what we lack, and this shift in perspective can be a powerful tool for building resilience. At its core, this quote invites us to start each day with a sense of appreciation for the basic gifts of life. It's easy to take things like health, relationships, and even the ability to think and feel for granted, especially when we're caught up in the challenges of daily life. But Stoicism teaches us that these are not small things. They are the foundation of our existence. When we pause to acknowledge them, we ground ourselves in the present moment and create a sense of stability that helps us weather life's storms. Practicing gratitude also helps us reframe adversity. When we face difficulties, it's natural to focus on what's going wrong, but gratitude allows us to zoom out and see the bigger picture. For example, if you're dealing with a stressful situation at work, taking a moment to appreciate the skills you've developed, the support of your colleagues, or even the opportunity to grow through the challenge can shift your mindset from frustration to empowerment. This doesn't mean ignoring the problem, but rather approaching it with a sense of balance and perspective. Another way gratitude enhances resilience is by fostering a sense of abundance. When we regularly acknowledge the good in our lives, we begin to see that we have more resources, both internal and external, than we might have realized. This sense of abundance can give us the confidence to tackle challenges head-on, knowing that we have the tools and support to overcome them. It's like building a mental and emotional safety net that catches us when we fall. Gratitude also strengthens our relationships, which are a key source of resilience. When we express appreciation for the people in our lives, we deepen our connections and create a network of support. This is especially important during tough times when we need others to lean on. A simple thank you or a heartfelt acknowledgement of someone's efforts can go a long way in building trust and mutual understanding. In this way, gratitude not only benefits us individually but also strengthens the communities we're part of. Moreover, gratitude helps us cultivate a sense of humility and perspective. It reminds us that much of what we have, our talents, opportunities, and even our challenges, are not entirely within our control. This recognition can help us let go of the need to control every outcome and instead focus on what we can do with the circumstances we're given. It's a subtle but powerful shift that aligns with Stoic principles of acceptance and focus on the present moment. In essence, Marcus Aurelius's quote is a call to embrace gratitude as a daily practice, one that enriches our lives and fortifies our resilience. By starting each day with a sense of appreciation, we train our minds to see the good in every situation, no matter how challenging. This practice not only helps us navigate adversity with grace, but also enhances our overall well-being, creating a ripple effect that touches every aspect of our lives. As we move forward, let's carry this wisdom with us, ready to find gratitude in the ordinary and extraordinary moments alike. Next, we'll explore how embracing challenges as opportunities for self-improvement can further strengthen our resilience. Now, let's turn our attention to the 22nd Stoic quote, which invites us to see challenges not as obstacles but as opportunities for growth. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher who himself overcame immense hardship, once said, "Difficulties are things that show a person what they are." This powerful statement reminds us that adversity is not something to be avoided or feared. It's a mirror that reflects our true character and potential. By embracing challenges, we uncover strengths we didn't know we had and develop resilience that serves us in every area of life. At its heart, this quote encourages us to shift our perspective on struggle. Instead of viewing difficulties as setbacks, we can see them as teachers. For example, imagine you're working on a project that feels overwhelming. At first, the sheer scale of the task might make you doubt your abilities. But as you tackle each small step, you begin to realize that you're capable of more than you thought. The challenge becomes a proving ground for your skills, creativity, and determination. In this way, adversity doesn't just test us, it transforms us. This mindset is especially valuable in moments of failure or disappointment. Let's say you didn't get the promotion you were hoping for. It's natural to feel discouraged, but Stoicism teaches us to ask, what can I learn from this? Perhaps the experience reveals areas where you can improve, or maybe it pushes you to explore new opportunities you hadn't considered before. By reframing the situation as a chance for self-improvement, you turn what could have been a setback into a stepping stone. Another way to embrace challenges is by focusing on the process rather than the outcome. When we fixate on results, we often feel frustrated or defeated if things don't go as planned. But when we shift our attention to the effort we're putting in and the lessons we're learning along the way, we find value in the journey itself. For instance, training for a marathon isn't just about crossing the finish line, it's about building discipline, endurance, and mental toughness. Each mile you run, even the difficult ones, contributes to your growth. This Stoic principle also encourages us to take ownership of our responses to adversity. While we can't always control what happens to us, we can control how we react. Think of a time when you faced a personal or professional challenge. Did you let it define you, or did you use it as an opportunity to rise above? By choosing to see challenges as opportunities, we reclaim our power and agency. This doesn't mean ignoring the difficulty of the situation, but rather approaching it with a mindset of curiosity and determination. Moreover, embracing challenges helps us build resilience over time. Each time we face a difficulty and come out stronger on the other side, we gain confidence in our ability to handle whatever life throws at us. It's like building a muscle. The more we exercise it, the stronger it becomes. This resilience doesn't just help us in the moment, it prepares us for future challenges, making us more adaptable and resourceful. In essence, Epictetus's quote is a call to action. It urges us to stop running from challenges and start embracing them as opportunities to grow. By shifting our perspective, focusing on the process, and taking ownership of our responses, we can transform adversity into a powerful tool for self-improvement. This mindset not only strengthens our resilience but also enriches our lives, helping us become the best versions of ourselves. As we move forward, let's carry this wisdom with us, ready to face challenges with courage and curiosity. Next, we'll explore how humility can help us learn from setbacks and further build our resilience. Now, let's explore the 23rd Stoic quote, which shines a light on the power of humility in building resilience. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most renowned Stoic philosophers, once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." At its core, this quote reminds us that true strength comes from understanding our limitations and embracing humility. Humility isn't about thinking less of ourselves, it's about thinking of ourselves less. It's about recognizing that we don't have all the answers and that every setback is an opportunity to learn and grow. Humility plays a crucial role in how we handle failure and adversity. When we approach challenges with a humble mindset, we're more open to feedback and willing to acknowledge our mistakes. For example, imagine you're leading a team project that doesn't go as planned. Instead of blaming others or becoming defensive, humility allows you to reflect on what went wrong and take responsibility for your part in the outcome. This self-awareness not only helps you improve but also strengthens your relationships with others as they see your willingness to grow. Another way humility builds resilience is by helping us stay grounded during success. It's easy to become overconfident when things are going well, but humility keeps us focused on continuous improvement. Think of an athlete who wins a major competition. If they let pride take over, they might stop training as hard or become complacent. But if they remain humble, they'll use their victory as motivation to keep pushing their limits. This mindset ensures that success doesn't become a stumbling block, but rather a stepping stone to greater achievements. Humility also teaches us to value the contributions of others. In moments of difficulty, it's tempting to isolate ourselves and try to solve problems alone. But humility reminds us that we don't have to face challenges in isolation. By seeking help and learning from others, we gain new perspectives and solutions we might not have considered on our own. This collaborative approach not only makes us more resilient, but also fosters a sense of community and support. Moreover, humility helps us maintain perspective during tough times. When we're humble, we're less likely to exaggerate our struggles or feel like the world is against us. Instead, we recognize that setbacks are a natural part of life and that everyone faces them at some point. This balanced outlook prevents us from becoming overwhelmed and helps us approach challenges with a calm, steady mindset. For instance, if you lose your job, humility allows you to see it as a temporary setback rather than a permanent failure, opening the door to new opportunities and growth. In essence, Marcus Aurelius's quote encourages us to cultivate humility as a source of inner strength. By embracing our imperfections, learning from our mistakes, and valuing the wisdom of others, we build resilience that helps us navigate life's ups and downs with grace. Humility doesn't weaken us, it empowers us to face challenges with courage and curiosity, knowing that every experience, good or bad, has something to teach us. As we move forward, let's carry this lesson with us, ready to approach life's obstacles with an open mind and a humble heart. Next, we'll examine how the power of choice shapes our resilience and defines our responses to adversity. Now, let's turn our attention to the 24th Stoic quote, which highlights the profound power of choice in shaping our resilience. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher who endured great hardship in his own life, once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This simple yet profound statement reminds us that while we can't always control the events that unfold around us, we always have control over how we respond to them. Our choices in the face of adversity are what truly define our resilience. Consider this: when life throws a curveball, whether it's a sudden job loss, a health scare, or a personal failure, we have two paths before us. We can either let the situation overwhelm us, or we can choose to face it with courage and determination. The first path might feel easier in the moment, but it often leads to feelings of helplessness and stagnation. The second path, though more challenging, empowers us to grow and adapt. For example, imagine someone who loses their job unexpectedly. They could choose to dwell on the loss, feeling defeated and uncertain about the future. Or they could choose to see it as an opportunity to explore new career paths, learn new skills, or even start their own business. The choice they make in that moment will shape not only their immediate circumstances but also their long-term resilience. This idea of choice extends beyond major life events to the smaller, everyday challenges we all face. Think about how you respond to a difficult conversation, a missed deadline, or even a bad day. Do you react with frustration and blame, or do you take a step back, reflect, and choose a more constructive approach? These small choices, when repeated over time, build the foundation of our resilience. They teach us that we have the power to shape our experiences, even when the circumstances are beyond our control. Another key aspect of this quote is the recognition that our reactions are deeply tied to our mindset. If we view challenges as insurmountable obstacles, we're more likely to feel defeated. But if we see them as opportunities for growth, we're more likely to respond with resilience and creativity. This shift in perspective isn't always easy, but it's a choice we can make every day. For instance, someone dealing with a chronic illness might choose to focus on what they can still do rather than what they've lost. This mindset not only helps them cope with their condition, but also allows them to find meaning and purpose in their journey. Epictetus's words also remind us that our choices influence not only our own lives, but also the lives of those around us. When we choose to respond to challenges with grace and determination, we inspire others to do the same. Imagine a leader who remains calm and focused during a crisis. Their choice to stay composed not only helps them navigate the situation effectively, but also reassures their team and encourages them to stay resilient as well. In this way, our choices ripple outward, creating a culture of resilience that benefits everyone. Ultimately, the power of choice is one of the most empowering tools we have as human beings. It allows us to take ownership of our lives, even in the face of uncertainty and difficulty. By choosing to respond to challenges with courage, adaptability, and a growth mindset, we build resilience that helps us thrive in any circumstance. As we reflect on this quote, let's remember that every challenge is an opportunity to exercise our power of choice, and in doing so, to strengthen our resilience and shape our destiny. Next, we'll explore the final quote in our series, which celebrates the enduring nature of the human spirit and its capacity to overcome even the greatest of obstacles. Now, as we reach the final quote in our exploration of Stoic wisdom, we turn to a powerful reminder of the enduring strength of the human spirit. Marcus Aurelius, one of history's most revered Stoic philosophers, once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This profound statement encapsulates the essence of resilience, the ability to draw strength from within, no matter what challenges we face. It's a testament to the idea that our inner resolve can outlast even the most daunting external circumstances. Consider the story of Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor who endured unimaginable suffering during World War II. Despite the horrors he faced in concentration camps, Frankl chose to focus on the one thing no one could take from him: his ability to find meaning in his suffering. He later wrote in his book, Man's Search for Meaning, that even in the darkest moments, we have the freedom to choose our attitude and our response. Frankl's resilience wasn't just about surviving, it was about finding purpose and hope in the midst of despair. His story is a living example of Marcus Aurelius's words, proof that the human spirit can endure and even thrive in the face of adversity. Another inspiring example is Malala Yousafzai, the young activist who stood up for girls' education in the face of violent opposition. After surviving an assassination attempt, Malala didn't retreat or give up. Instead, she chose to amplify her voice, becoming a global advocate for education and human rights. Her resilience wasn't just about physical survival, it was about refusing to let fear or hatred dictate her path. Like Marcus Aurelius, Malala understood that true strength comes from within, and she used that strength to inspire millions around the world. These stories remind us that resilience isn't just about enduring hardship, it's about finding meaning, purpose, and even joy in the process. It's about recognizing that while we can't always control what happens to us, we can always control how we respond. This is the enduring message of Stoicism, that the human spirit is unbreakable when we tap into our inner power. As we reflect on this final quote, let's take a moment to consider how we can apply this wisdom in our own lives. Think about a challenge you've faced, big or small. How did you respond? Did you feel overwhelmed, or did you find a way to rise above it? The truth is, we all have the capacity for resilience. It's not something reserved for heroes or historical figures. It's a quality we can cultivate every day by focusing on what we can control, our thoughts, our attitudes, and our actions. We can build a foundation of strength that carries us through even the toughest times. Marcus Aurelius's words are a fitting conclusion to our journey through these 25 Stoic quotes on resilience. They remind us that no matter what life throws our way, we have the power to choose how we respond. And in that choice lies our greatest strength. As we close this chapter, let's carry this message with us. The human spirit is enduring, adaptable, and capable of overcoming even the greatest of obstacles. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of Stoic wisdom. If you found value in these insights, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more content like this. Until next time, stay resilient. As we wrap up this journey through 25 Stoic quotes on resilience, let's take a moment to reflect on the timeless wisdom we've uncovered. From Marcus Aurelius to Epictetus, these Stoic philosophers remind us that resilience isn't just about enduring hardship. It's about finding strength, purpose, and even growth in the face of adversity. Their teachings show us that while we can't control everything that happens to us, we always have the power to control how we respond. This is the heart of resilience, the ability to adapt, to learn, and to rise above challenges with grace and determination. Think about the practical applications of these principles in your own life. Whether you're facing a personal setback, a professional challenge, or simply the everyday stresses of life, Stoicism offers tools to help you navigate them with clarity and calm. By focusing on what you can control, your thoughts, your actions, and your attitude, you can build a foundation of inner strength that carries you through even the toughest times. Remember, resilience isn't about being unbreakable. It's about being adaptable, learning from adversity, and finding meaning in the struggle. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these quotes resonated most with your own experiences? How do you practice resilience in your daily life? Share your thoughts and stories in the comments below. Your insights might inspire someone else on their journey. And if you found value in this exploration of Stoic wisdom, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more content like this. Thank you for joining me on this journey, and remember, no matter what life throws your way, you have the power to choose how you respond. Stay resilient, and I'll see you in the next video.